Damn, I love that.
That was premature.
God dang.
Yeah. So another episode of Blerd Talk, episode 9, I believe. I know we covered mental illness in the Black community or the stigma in the Black community. This one is more of a part 2. Just there you go. More of a part 2. We're gonna get kind of personal if y'all would like. Heather is a guest once again.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Heather.
Hello, hello.
We're glad to have you here. Would anyone like to start first?
Kenny looks like an unlocked character from Dynasty Warriors. Just saying.
Yeah, definitely. What would it be his weapon of choice?
His hands.
Yeah, right.
But anyone would like to start first though? Any volunteers?
Dante,
James, there you go. Yeah,
Dante.
Well, I actually have some questions.
There you go.
For Heather.
Okay.
All right. So, would you like to tell us your history with I'm trying to mental illnesses?
Where should we start? Well, I want to say it started around like my late teens into my early 20s. I kind of had a feeling there was something wrong with me, but I didn't know exactly like what was wrong with me. And so I will often tell like my parents, like, hey, I think I need to go like see a psychiatrist or see a doctor because I think there's something wrong with me. And then they'll say, like, what? And I'll say, oh, I'm depressed. They're like, what you got to be depressed about? You don't got to pay no bills. And I'm like, that's
toxic.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not what I meant, but okay. And it started to get like increasingly worse over time, and with my parents not being really supportive of it and me not having like the financial support or like anything like that to actually get myself together, so to speak. It just started to decline, and it got to a point to where it was interfering with like my friendships, relationships, holding a job, especially when you're like mentally ill and you don't have like the proper tools to take care of yourself, is really hard to do. So then that started happening. And then it wasn't until I got with Alex here is when things started to get better, because when we first got together and things were going south, he pretty much gave me an ultimatum of either I get myself together or we just break up. And I didn't want us to break up. So, yeah.
So when would you say it started, like your feelings about something was going on with you? Because I mean, I'm thinking like only you would know yourself more than anybody else, right? So, well, hopefully, in general, people would know. But like, as far as can you point to a specific point in your life that would contribute to what's going on with you now? Or
I would just say like just years of abuse in general. That's pretty much what it was. And whenever I would talk about, like with my parents, I would say like, years of abuse and trauma is like kind of what led me to get to this point. And then they would say something like, well, you're just not strong enough to handle those issues, or God gave you those issues for a reason to show if you're mentally strong, and clearly you failed the test. And I'm like, what does that have to do with the fact that I suffered? Like that doesn't really make much sense to me. Or my personal favorite would be something like, oh, you just need to pray it away. Like, oh, that's just the devil taking over you. You just pray that away. And I'm like,
is your family highly religious or spiritual?
Yes. Very religious. So it's just like I said before, not having that support system and not really having the time to actually take care of yourself when you really needed to. Because like I said, it was just years of trauma, a lot of trauma, I will say, years of trauma and abuse. And then growing up, and instead of dealing with it, I would just bury myself in like, working, going to school. Then I started exercising. So I did everything but actually address it. And then when I finally addressed it, was, well, we called it the box. when we were
opening the box.
Yeah, we opened the box.
Yeah, I think a lot of times you try to distract yourself from the boiling emotions that is depression or whatever. You try to distract yourself so you won't think about it. Like I wouldn't call it an episode, but I had posted a video on Instagram. I don't know if any of y'all even be on Instagram like that. But it's a guy, he was just talking about how he's proud of the people who are doing something with themselves. They're not like killing themselves. They're actually trying to seek the help and this and the third. And it was triggering because I could very well be depressed in general now, but it was triggering for me. I know at one point in time I was depressed. I was like, when I was in my early 20s, 21, 22, 23. I don't know. I don't remember what was going on exactly in my life at that time. But it's like when you put it off, it definitely snowballs into something much worse. So it is fortunate. Fortunately, you was able to meet Alex, and Alex was able to push you into getting the help that you need to receive. I see the love between y'all is just real. James, buddy, old pal.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. So I remember the last time we talked about this. I discussed about how I dealt with depression and stuff before, but it wasn't really until that I found out like 2 weeks before my 30th birthday, I had to get total hip replacement, and I was heartbreaking. So it's been kind of rough ever since then. I haven't been able to do a lot of the things I did before. It's been a long road to recovery. I'll say that. I went to see a therapist. Had you guys as my support group for y'all and my family. Honestly, I don't know if I could have made it through as I am right now. Even after seeing my therapist, it was hard because it felt like I lost a piece of myself, like who I was. Like you already knew how I was. I was playing basketball. I was working out all the time. I was always doing something. And then when this happened, it was like I was put on hold, and it was like a piece of me just died off. I didn't even know who I was anymore. A lot of the things I enjoyed doing, I couldn't even do it. I couldn't walk. I couldn't take with the pain. I couldn't even keep up with the job I was doing prior. The recovery process, they didn't even care. They just threw me in the work, and then I made it worse. Um, Relationships and stuff like that. It just, I saw myself as a totally different person. I couldn't take any criticism. I couldn't take anything. I couldn't take any jokes or nothing like that. I was like always at 100. Um, and it wasn't until I started seeing my therapist and dealing with him and talking to him that I actually was able to focus on what I needed to do. He gave me different activities to do. My problem was, like Heather spoke about earlier, is when you're depressed, you can do other stuff. You can work out, you can do, other activities, other hobbies. But in my case, I couldn't do nothing. Um, and that was what killed me. And when I did try to do different things on the side, I would get frustrated very easily, and it would set me off. Um, so after after a couple months of therapy, and after going through a lot of the trauma that I had, and actually realizing that it was actual trauma, and actually dealing with it, and not just putting it to the side and moving on, I was able to actually, you know, feel better about the situation. Um, Knowing that I'm probably gonna have to go through the same procedure again. I can honestly say now I could probably be better off if I had to do it again and start from scratch and go through the whole walking and learning procedures and all that stuff. I can always say I'll be in a better spirit. Like I said, it's been pretty dark. Um, and recently, after talking to him, I've been able to actually do a lot of the things that I love to do before. I've found a new motivation. I've been working out. I've been going to school. Been looking for a new, field. So everything's looking up. But even though everything's looking up, I still have my days. Like even today, I was like talking to my mom, and it was like little things. Like I was like felt like I was getting cut off, and it's just like that. It came back out of nowhere. And after all the times that I've had dealing with it and accepting it and going through the activities that my therapist had put upon me, I was able to actually take a step back and work through it. And also another thing I realized, I actually got back into like martial arts again. So I got to see my teacher and talk to a lot of the students that I seen before me, like Tai Chi and stuff. And I had a really good conversation with one of the guys I haven't seen in a while. It's like probably been like 10 years. But you know, we all knew each other. It was all pretty good. So he was telling me that there's like certain levels that you get to get your mind and your body, everything in one text. So even though you're going through the stresses every day, you're getting tested every day, you still got to find a way to keep everything in line, you know, in a way that doesn't, you don't let it control you, don't let it explode. So I've been, you know, implementing that. I've been implementing like a lot of like, I guess you could say like breathing exercises. I've just been doing a lot more stuff than I had never really thought about, like when I was younger and stuff. I was always running through. I'm not running through anymore. I'm thinking about a lot more stuff. So the quarantine, it was rough. It really did hit like a setback. Like, I mean, I really don't want to talk about it to this point, but like it was like the first time in my life that I actually like thought about suicide, like different types every day. Like I actually thought about it like visually detailed. I explained that to my therapist. Like even knowing that I would never do it, it was just the thought that I've never experienced that. Like I never really, I never really went through that whole imagery. So it's like this whole process. It's just been like a roller coaster, and it's always going to be a everyday struggle. I'm not going to sit here and say, just because you go to therapy, whatever you're dealing with is going to go away, because it's not like that. It's just like you
It's a
working out.
process.
It is a process. It's a life journey. So we just got to keep working on it. Like I can easily fall back. Like I could just go back to my hole and not talk to y'all. Y'all won't see me for weeks. I could go back to that. But if you really want to work on yourself, you really want to fix it, you got to keep working on it. And what's been working for me is I've been working out. I've been hanging out, talking to y'all. I've been actually trying to be more social, trying to do more stuff to benefit me. I've been focusing more on myself, and I've really seen a change, especially recently. So that's all I can say to people that are struggling with depression. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's really not. Like when you're dealing with it, you need to reach out for help. And if people in your group are not supportive, you need to find another supportive group. So
There's definitely so you would say it's definitely been progress on your end.
yeah, it's definitely been a lot of progress. Yeah.
And with the martial arts thing, my question is, can you beat Goku though?
The question you should be asking is, Goku can beat me? Can he?
So that plays into the strength that you feel inside of you from all the therapy and all the martial arts training that you're going through. You feel powerful enough to fight Goku one-on-one, and you will win, James. I have faith in you. The power of words, Alex. You see that?
Exactly.
Give him the strength. Kitty.
Kobe.
So have you ever? Well, okay. Well, I'm just gonna ask some questions. Have you? Well, I'm pretty sure you may have suffered through some type of mood swings or depression moments at some point in your life. So what did you do to deal with it?
I've had okay, so mine is a different situation. I've had depression before. I was depressed when I was with my ex Jade. I was going through the depression and that whole phase and everything like that.
Oh, is Alex triggered?
Yeah, had the name. All right, we'll keep going.
Yeah,
I'll bleep it out. I'll just bleep out the name.
But so I had depression on that, and I was going to Kuwait, during that time period. And I was a little bit down on that whole situation and everything. And I didn't really through therapy like most people did. I just saw from seeing all the people in Kuwait and what they have and what I have, I just like in my mind, I was just like I was thinking to myself, like, why am I so upset about? Why am I in this state right now? Like these people are way in the worse place than I am, and they still wake up with a smile on their face. And one of the guys I worked with, he was just like, because I told him, I was like, I suffer through depression and all that stuff and everything like that. And he was like, the one thing I find interesting about Americans is that they have a lot more mental issues than us foreigners over here. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was just like, y'all have a lot of things going for you in the States and stuff like that. But over here, we don't have that much, but we still wake up with a smile on our face. And you know why we're like this? I was like, why? And he was like, because I'm just happy to be alive. And I was just like,
okay.
Wow. I was like, I can't really say much about, like, he was just like, I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to have the job I have. I'm happy to take care of my family. I'm happy to have a family and some kids. And they're just happy with life. That's literally with what they have. And I was just like, when I heard that, I was just like, you know what? I really have no point. Like I have a good job and everything like that. And when that thing happened with that person again and we broke up, like I was just like, yeah, I really don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm gonna do. And I was like, all right. And I just pushed that to the side and I just kept going on with life. And but yeah, how I handled it, I didn't go through therapy like most people do. I still recommend people should go through therapy because not many people might have eye-opening experiences as I did, going overseas and seeing what a third world country actually looks like. So yeah, it's just a little different experience for me, honestly. I never had suicidal thoughts or I never got to the point of having suicidal thoughts or anything like that. To this day now, like my day can be going bad and I'll still just be like, I'm still running with life, still going around, still kicking. I'm good. So that's just my mental on everything.
Yeah, like I mean, I have, I probably don't show it or don't mention it, but I definitely have my days where I'm just down. I'm just like, fuck, like I'm just felt so blah or whatever. And then I haven't been in therapy neither. I probably should. I haven't. I try to like self therapy, I guess. I don't know if it's effective. I mean, I'm still on trucking. I'm still trucking on, but I mean, yeah, I mean, like Kenny said, definitely should go to therapy. I recommend it with my significant other. Whenever I am feeling the mood and it's like I just feel like I'm about to cry or whatever case may be, I'll just text my significant other and then she'll tell me all the stuff that I have accomplished. Like, oh, I've done. Like, hey, look, you've done this. You have something to be proud of. You have something to look forward to. You're still working on this. You're still doing this, that, and the third. Your daughter loves you. Your daughter worships you. Well, maybe not worship. That's probably a strong word, but she like adores you. You know what I'm saying? She is then the third. So you got a lot of stuff going for you. And I'm just like, huh. But I'm still sad though. Like,
I'm glad you hit on that because that's the thing is that you can know all that stuff and still be sad. Yeah. Like you can still understand all these people don't have anything and they're happy, but I'm still sad.
Yeah.
And it's like what? And to me, for me, it's like a snowball. I think one thing, and it just snowballs into something else, and then snowballs into something. It's just constantly thinking about something completely unnecessary. So I tend to like just do stuff to distract myself until I receive the help that I just need to get. But so since you since you mentioned that you can still have everything, still be sad, why do you think that is, Alex?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, I was just honestly,
the
that's
biggest
not.
thing. Well, go for it.
No, go ahead.
I think the biggest thing, honestly, is just I think every human, to a degree, needs some type of personal fulfillment. So for some people, that can be working specific jobs that give them whatever that accomplishment need is. So in general, like people in general want to help other people, but how you do that really matters. So if you're not good in math, but your job is being, let's say, a financial specialist and you help people in that light, it may not really fill that niche or that void for you. But something like after you finish your job and you go to the gym and you talk with the guys and you help someone bench like a new PR, like that's something that could be like, yeah, like you did this. You take more pride in those activities than you do with other activities like financial help for people because it's not something you have a passion about. So I think the biggest issue that a lot of people kind of come to be is when they're out pursuing funds or anything monetary to help their life get by, they neglect what they need personally in each and every day. So like, you know, food, water, shelter / food, shelter, and you know, what's the third thing all humans need? Food, water. I think it's pretty much it. Food, they separate water and shelter. You know, we all need those things, but we still need things mentally to keep us going. Like for anyone who works out normally, what happens when you work out normally? They like you miss a day or two of working out. You start getting like this. You start getting like this weird itch. Like, hey, like I gotta get moving, like I gotta do something. But when you don't feel that itch, it feels like the worst thing ever. Like, yo, what am I doing in my life? Like I have to start, but why am I not moving? Why am I not doing these things? And when you have things like that compound and build up over years of you not taking care of your personal needs, I think that's what happens. Because a lot of the things, like you said, are just distractions. It's financial distractions. You only get enough money to pay your bills. All the other stuff is extra. It's nice to have extra stuff. It's not a need though.
I think some people just not satisfied with what they have.
Humans are.
Yeah,
humans
so
by design, we always want more.
Yeah, like sometimes some stuff I've done, I'm like, that's not enough though. I want to do more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's
I feel like that sometimes.
Yourself out of that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Do you have a moment, Alex, when you was down and out, or you just feeling in a rut, in a sunken place?
Why you gotta say a sunken place? Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story because no one knows about it because I didn't tell anyone. It actually happened the day Kenny left. So when he was leaving outside with Jesse and we were giving our farewells and I was waving him by,
he was about to
cry. Actually almost exploded into tears immediately. Because the thing is, by saying bye to him, because he's like one of my closest friends since like birth till like now. So saying bye to him, my mind immediately went to, there goes another person that I probably like won't see or won't be around me. And then my mind connected that to the loss of my father last year. And that I'll never see him again. Like for the rest of my life, he's gone.
Is Kenny frozen?
I have this void.
Is he frozen?
No, I'm not.
Who, Kenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he froze. Yeah, it froze him. See, there it is. Goodbye.
Bye.
Last time I've ever seen. See there, see? Now my subconscious is linking. See, I told you. Yeah, but no. So like in that moment, I'm gonna hope he's alright.
Yeah.
But in that moment, you know, it linked those events together, and I was just like, damn. Like one, that's hella sad. Like, why am I being so sad and dramatic right now? But I'm like, he's just going to a different state.
Yeah, he's just going to Texas.
He's going there again, right? But I was just like, it was in the moment of like, yo, I haven't seen him for so long, and he's already gone again. And I was like, it gave me similarities of my father, of like seeing him and hanging around him and then just gone. But this time it's permanent. So
yeah, speaking on the father thing, my father, I remember to this day, and it makes me so fucking distraught when I think about it. He told me he's like in his 70s, so he's preparing for death, right? Mm-hmm. So he told me last time I saw him, which was like 2-3 years ago, he said, Dante, look, don't spend no more than $8,000. Cremate me, burn me. I don't want to be in the ground. Spread my ashes over Chesapeake Bay. I said, why the Chesapeake Bay? He said, do you know a better fishing spot? and that was the conversation, and that is still messing with me.
Yeah,
to this day, right? Because like you're preparing for it, and it's like, despite whatever relationship we may have had prior, where we are right now is better than nothing, right? So for you to talk about that, I don't want to talk about that, and it's depressing as shit. Like,
there's, it's weird. I've always been weird about life, and there, for me, there's a level of comfort with it in the same way there's a level of sadness with it. So like I almost lost both parents back to back. Like I always told you guys, like I'm about to be a whole superhero. Like this is how it always begins. You lose a parent or both parents, and then that's your origin story. So I almost lost each of them back to back this year, mother having cancer, and that could have killed her. So woo for 2020 and 2021, both almost taking my parents, or what my superpower would be. But in hindsight of it all, it's still the preparation of it. So like the sadness of it on the father's side is like he won't meet like Heather like as a future like wife. He won't see kids I have. He won't see me potentially walk for a master's if I had to go back. Like he won't see my growth and progress. And like, for you, because I know you have a daughter, like it hits harder because you're just like not being able to see that in your generation that you have. Like I can't just like moments where like I call my mom, and after I call my mom, I usually call my dad, and it's just like instinctive, right? And then like I start dialing the number, and then I'm like, oh, like he's not here anymore. Like those are the moments that like people don't like really think about for like the day-to-day interactions. So like it's sad for that. But on the other side, like it also can bring about happiness and drive of like, yo, I got things I need to do. There are things I can set up and plan. There are ways I can influence people right now so that they may not have to go through this. Like there are ways I can plan. There are ways I can act. And there are ways I can teach. So there's a duality with it.
Yeah, definitely. Because like you said, with my father, he only met Avani once, and she was 2. She's 11 now, and it's like with him, because every time I talk to him, it's like that whole death conversation is like hanging over the conversation. Like he's going to say something or he's going to bring it up. I had a recently discussion with my brother as far as our mom, and he was like, hey, like she's getting older. We need to figure out what we need to do with the house when she's gone. And it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's not something I want to deal with. I'm going to have to. It's going to happen. It's like taxes. It's going to happen. But it's just the thought of it is just wearing me down. So when I think of things like that, and I think of like the whole reason behind the YouTube, the podcast, the music, if I can't provide something financially for my daughter, at least she can have something to help motivate to create. You know what I'm saying? Motivate her to create things. That's why I was telling Ax about way in the beginning of all this. So I mean, seek therapy. Can't stress that enough. I don't know. I am glad to see on social media random people, at least on my news feed, mention going to therapy. So it is becoming more of a thing. It's not so much of a stigma anymore. We can't even hear you.
It's more talked about.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it's becoming more. It's not so much of a negative stigma as much as it used to be. I'm glad that James is seeking help. I'm glad Heather is seeking help. Me and Kenny, we need to do better, dog. We need to go to therapy.
Oh no,
no.
I've actually talked to a therapist, and he was like, "I'm fine."
Well,
yeah,
Alex,
I'm fine.
Me and Alex, we need to go. We need to do better. We need to go to therapy. We need to talk.
We
to
go to
somebody.
therapy together.
He goes to therapy.
Oh, I'm by myself. Damn. All right.
And actually, I was gonna take Jessie to therapy, but me taking her out of Kuwait so she's just now way better than what she was before, because she was depressed. But me taking her out of there, she's like happier now, smiling all the time now. She's just always happy. So yeah, certain areas can just Yeah, certain areas can do it too, but you know, the funny thing is we had a reverse effect. Me going there took it away. Me taking her out took it away.
Yeah, certain places and certain people.
Yeah.
Monitor your friend groups. Keep a close monitor on it. It's not worth them draining you, taking away your sanity, depending on what they're going through. Like, it's just not worth it.
I'm really like, damn, I'm a double minority. I haven't gone to therapy and I'm black. I need to do better.
No, a triple minority would be you're black, not going to therapy, and not taking meds to keep yourself regulated.
And I'm left-handed, so that's 4. I just need to.
Alex' face just like.
He's like, I'm done with this podcast.
But on a note of beyond Mr. Dante's words. Yeah, he just like
I'm above you. You below me. So it's like
right there to me.
But anyway, seek therapy. You know, get new friends. If they're friends. All right, I had a conversation. My aunt is a therapist. She is a therapist now. She's a therapist. So she was asking me like, hey, you know, I know these people and, you know, they're pretty cool people. And I straight up just told her, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure those people are really nice people, but I don't have the time or the mental strain to make new friends. I just don't. I literally don't. And she was just like, why is that? I was like, because first you have to talk to the person. Then you have to see what the hell's wrong with the person. Then you have to weed through all the crap that they probably going through. No, it's just too much. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with my group of friends and call it a day. And after I told her that, she was like, I can completely understand your point. I was like, exactly. So no, you don't need to introduce me to none of these people. Nikki tried to do the same thing. And she was like, there's a group of blerd people that I was like, I'm good. Thanks. No,
all we need is us.
What did Drake say? No new friends.
I find it just on the friend topic. I find it weird to purposely go out to find friends. It's just weird to me.
Like, gotta happen naturally.
Like
I mean, her line of work.
No, I ain't talking about her. I'm talking about just people that are like, I need to find some friends, and then like just go out with.
That's because they have a shitty group of friends from the start.
Yeah, it's because they never cultivated a good friend group.
Yeah. Or they're like Pokemon. I gotta catch them all.
Oh my God, the people who just like the attention.
Yeah. Also, another thing I've realized also, since we're on the friends things, some people find certain states boring. Like some people find Virginia boring. Some people find this place boring, stuff like that. But honestly, it's who you hang out that makes the place entertaining or not. Yeah. If you hang out, if your friends are boring, that state is man, the state's boring. Are you sure? Or is this your friends?
Yeah, I've come across into that. More of a final note for me. The biggest thing, honestly, is just the way people protect their finances. Twice as hard, you need to protect your mental health. Your mental health matters. And in a sense, think of it like a battery. And each day, maybe you'll start with 100%. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you start the day at 60%. But every activity that you do, each interaction that you take, each step you move takes a little bit of that battery each day. And you need to be very careful as to who you give charges to, because it does not last indefinitely. And it is very finite. So give energy and give those battery charges to the appropriate people in your life, because not everyone is deserving of your time.
I wish I learned that years ago.
Preach facts. 100.
And another thing I will say, and this is more so geared towards Black people. I actually made a couple people mad when I said this, but I believe that us as, you know, a group or community, whatever you want to call it, we can't sit here and say we need to address, you know, generational trauma. We have to unpack this and unlearn toxic behaviors and things like that. but in the same breath say that mental health is a myth among Black people.
And so I wonder. Well, that's probably a whole nother.
Day in my life.
I've heard that.
Hang out those people.
I've heard that before. But I wonder.
I'm saying, like, I see it all the time. They'll be like, you know, we got to break generational curses. We got to address generational trauma and all this other stuff. But then when you ask them about like mental health in general, they're like, oh, that's a white people thing. We don't do that.
I used to hear that when I was younger. Like,
I still hear it.
And that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I used to hear that when I was younger. I guess it's just the group of people I be around now. Well, I don't really be around anybody. Really. So
you and your Mike and us.
Y'all are my only friends. But
that's a lot of friends though.
But no, I mean there are people who I talk to and they're not like that. They're not like mental illness is a myth because they're going through something. So they are fully aware of depression, et cetera, et cetera. Like I was saying earlier, I'm glad that it seems as if society or the Black community is becoming more aware of therapy and they are pushing each other to seek therapy. I know like at least three people outside of this podcast right here who openly talks about therapy, and it's just refreshing to see. I hit like, I keep scrolling. But yeah, so what is that?
That's Dante just
join. Oh, I'm just trying to swat a fly in the back.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so thank you, Heather, for becoming a guest once again and being open.
Yeah.
So more so, James, I appreciate you being open. I'm pretty sure it was tough. The journey through 2020 has been tough on you. I'm pretty sure.
I say one thing I think is important though. One thing with mental health or depression in general, don't ignore it. Like if you feel a little bit, don't ignore it because bottling it up is only going to come out, and it might come
explosive.
out.
Be explosive.
Yo, fuck it, I'm coming out. It's gonna haunt me, man.
It's like it's like that. It's instant, and it doesn't tell you when it's gonna happen. It's unsuspecting, and it's better to deal with the little emotions that you do have before you let them build up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can agree.
I strongly believe what you're saying, James. Like I think that contributed me bottling stuff up, me keeping stuff to myself, what contributed to the issue I had.
You need
in the workplace. So
you need to go see help.
Well, I don't regret it. If I had to do
I know you don't. You probably will do it again.
Exactly. Thank you for knowing me. Thank you for knowing me.
But probably like, you know what? We want to take over again. Hey, yo, bro.
But I should have dealt with it better prior to that explosive encounter.
Sometimes okay, so this podcast is getting lengthy. So I had an encounter yesterday with my aunt. We were playing spades, and she is really serious about spades.
It always and spades game.
But she's really serious about spades. I haven't played spades in about 6-7 years.
Playing Future in the background.
We still won the game. But she was upset that I didn't put a card down. And she was like, and she threw the card. She was like, why didn't you put the card down? And I was just like, I just looked at her straight in the face. And I was just like, huh? And she was, we go. I was just like, yo, I just want to play. I was like, look, I'm playing the game because grandma wanted to play. So let's play the game. And it got hot. And then all of a sudden, like, I was just like, I don't have time for this. And all of a sudden, it's just the rage just came out, like, and I slowly put my hand on the table and I said, we're gonna play this game, and I don't have any time to deal with you, or I'm gonna get really frustrated. and everybody just got quiet because I'm not the person to just get angry like that.
And that's what makes it so bad.
It's always spades.
It's either spades or dice.
But that's how it works.
So after that, like my grandma, bless her soul. She was like, he can't talk to me like. And my grandma was like, you gotta understand, he has your father's genes in him.
He's been to Kuwait.
And my granddad fought police officers with his hands. That man was angry. May he rest in peace. But he was angry.
You wake up and choose violence every day.
But so yeah, that's. I was just like, what? I'm normally quiet.
Exactly.
Until something happens, and when something happens, people be like, "Oh snap! It's time to clear the room."
They looking at you like you got like 12 heads. All you do is open your mouth. I don't understand it. Like, okay, I need therapy. I mean,
people need that. The one thing I have to say is I do need to see somebody for my PTSD.
Yeah. So, you know that there's a situation with yourself, and you're actively
if I hear loud explosions, I freak out.
Okay. I don't know how many explosions you're going to hear in Dallas, but I mean, I'm glad that you're.
I don't know. 4th of July is coming up.
So I say that next July 4th might be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like I was saying, thank you, Heather, for sharing, for being open. James, thank you for being.
May I share one story before we head out?
Sure.
What?
No. Hell, so check on those. So out of frame.
I mean, I did too.
Laugh out of frame.
So,
Oh my gosh.
I'll never forget. There was this one time. So I'm bipolar, surprise. And so there was this one time where I was going through like a bad cycle. I was going through a low. And I remember it was me and Alex who was in the kitchen. And then Alex was like,
Oh, no.
Is this on the paper towel?
Nah, because that was fine. Ain't the paper towel story.
Not the paper towel story.
I love telling that story to people.
So we're in the kitchen and I'm sitting down and I was like, did you take your meds? I was like, no. He was like, why? I was like, because I don't want to. And then he looked at me and was like, nope. And he took the meds and he shoved them in my mouth. And then he took the apple juice and shoved that in my mouth.
That sounds horrible.
Looking at him, and he looked at me and was like, you better not do that again.
That sounds so horrible. But I can see.
There's a bad explain to you like this, Dante. All right, listen. Being born a human in America, we all have choices. She had the choice to take her meds or to not take her meds. She chose not to take her meds. So I chose to make her take her meds with assistance. That's all. She got an extra hand. So she kept taking her meds after that day. Exactly. Yeah, she took them. And I just stared at her the whole time like, I wish you would try and spit. I wish you would try and spit.
All right, but we're going to end this podcast on a good note. Hey, remember, check on your mental health. Go see a therapist. Have a good circle of friends. A circle of friends is really important. It's really important. And for all the women out there, good luck finding a good circle of friends. But yeah,
my last bit to say is don't be scared to tell people no and stop giving people long excuses as to why you can't do it. Just tell them no. You coming to the party? No. That's it. Done. No, my mom has to blah, blah. No. Just say no.
That's frowned upon. That's too blunt for people. People can't handle that.
No.
Yeah.
And always.
Thank you.
I'll give it to him in the letter. Oh, this is no. Man, I don't like that answer you got me. All right, cool. Hand him the paper. All it says is no on it.
No, that's it. No and period.
Yeah, Yes.
Learn that skill very early in your life, especially even with friends. You gotta tell people no.
Yeah, you told me no several times.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I tell y'all no all the time.
I know what he'll say no to, so I don't ask him.
Also, if you are seeing help and taking meds, just know you're not weak. Weakness is ignoring the fact that you need help and that you have something going on. It takes a level of strength to actually be like, hey, I need help. And even if you're taking meds, you're not a weakling. Don't sit here. Don't let nobody tell you that, oh, you're weak because you're going to therapy and taking meds. No, the person telling you that is probably weak because they have something going on that they refuse to address. So quite honestly, if you're out here, you're getting yourself together, going to therapy, taking meds, exercising, eating right, whatever it is you need to do to keep yourself mentally sane, you're stronger than the person who's completely ignoring it. And it literally took me about a year's worth of
Alex
going to therapy to realize, and also with Alex to
Hold on, let
realize
him
that
cheese.
I was in fact weak.
Dang, she rolled a D20 on wisdom today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on that note, we gonna end this.
We're done now.
You're done now.
Yeah, no.